Do I not have a title? What happened here? No, strange. Okay, well, the bot didn't get it. All right, well, hi. Currently just Casey and Amy Clear. All right, we got to go get the YouTube chat link. Let's pull this, pop out, done. Hey Minkler, hey Quan, hey BioAim, thank you for subbing. Look at that. That's like 1 sub per minute of streaming. This keeps up on a rich. Hey Saber. Yeah, so this morning we started with this WebSocket stuff because it turns out Cloudflare Tunnel can't be used for UDP. So I should probably write in the Cloudflare notes about that. And we're just going to keep pursuing this the same way I have been, which is slowly. I want to build up a good foundation of knowledge here. I think at some point the floodgates will metaphorically open and we will just be able to make some progress. Although at that point, I probably need to come up with what we're even doing. Because all we're doing right now is prototyping stuff. Cloudflare. All right. Tunnel basics, gotchas. You cannot tunnel UDP connections. There we go. Now, wait a second. This is not a link to the thing I wanted to link to. Yeah, this is not a thing I want to link to. Okay, so I want to copy this one. Where is it? This. Okay, that should be the correct reference link. Good. So there's that. Then this stuff. Cloudflare tunnels do not support UDP traffic, which means your options for hosting a server are convert to WebSockets, set up a VM in the cloud somewhere, expose your public IP address. Yep. How is latency on WebSockets versus UDP? Well, since WebSockets are over HTTP and HTTP is built on TCP, it means that it should be slower. But yeah, I don't know how much slower. I don't know if there's going to be a noticeable difference or problem. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to learn this stuff. Yeah, good for reliability, but not for latency. So not good for real-time applications like fast-paced games. See WebRTC for those use cases. Due to its simplicity, its wide compatibility, and being easier to use than ROS TCP. So convert to WebSockets. This will have a performance impact. I guess convert to WebRTC is the other thing. I should really look into this. Ability to export to HTML5 and WebAssembly. Okay, so let's see what this is. Much more complex set of specifications, relies on many other technologies behind the scenes. Right, fast real-time and secure communication between two peers. Idea is to find the fastest route between two peers and establish whenever possible direct communication. I see. Try to avoid a relaying server. However, this comes at a price, which is that some media information must be exchanged between the two peers before the communication can start. This usually takes the form of a so-called WebRTC signaling server. Peers connect to a signaling server and send their media information. The server then relays this information to other peers, allowing them to establish the desired direct communication. Once the step is done, peers can disconnect from the signaling server. So this is for peer-to-peer, though. I don't think I want this. WebRTC is implemented in 2 main cases, or classes. Yeah, I probably want to write this down. But I don't think I want to actually use this. Yeah, so let's just get a link to this. By the way, I fixed my keyboard. I just threw out the old switch. What else do I want to write here? WebRTC is for peer. Maybe I'll write it down here. Note that WebRTC is only for peer-to-peer connections, but should be more performant. Just got here. Looks like you need a break. Looks like you need a break. Looks like you need to talk to your wife about spending money. Hey, JR. All right, we'll put a reference here. It's stilling. So yeah, I don't think we have much of a choice here. The thing is, swapping between WebSockets and what else? The high-level UDP networking. I don't think it should be difficult to do. It just depends on where the server is and what people expect when you connect to it. Yeah. Any game ideas yet? No, I'm not done with just the learning stuff, so I haven't even tried thinking about it yet. And I don't think we're going to finish today. I have a bunch of other things. We've done this, so that part's done. I just need to write some notes on this. Write notes on WebSocket stuff and Cloudflare tunnels. Put this online with a tunnel. Yeah, I gotta convert my stuff. Don't care about WebRTC. I'm gonna just delete these things. I'll put this in my notes here. Hey, Banana. That's fine. Okay. Copying some notes about what I could do if WebSockets don't work. There. What about Platform Royale? Each player controls an individual platform to get the NPC to the top. Couldn't just one person do it by just getting the NPC underneath them? Actually, really, it sounds like an interesting idea, but I suspect you'd find some easy way of cheesing it, and then, yeah, I don't know how that would work. I think you need some rules about you can't get too close to other players, but then still what stops people from just moving up in like 2 rows? You can only move side to side. Oh, so you don't even get to move up or down. So only side to side, and everyone needs to coordinate somehow? Yeah. Platforms can shoot fireballs. I think games like that can kind of be interesting. There's this game a while ago, hey yo, that was I don't even know how I'm going to describe this because I remember so little of it. It was a game with pinball controls for everything. So you'd come across random flippers in the world and you had to press the left flipper or right flipper button. And it was kind of like a platformer. Anyway, I did not find it very fun because I'm like, I just want to control the player normally. So I think a game where you control platforms would also probably not be very fun. But I guess if you're just the one playing it, it's better than if you're the one building it. Hey again, Bobby. All right, so WebSocket stuff. We need to finish testing this thing. We know what worked, but I don't know exactly why it worked. Oh, I wanted a fun game. Yeah. Only fun games, please. Okay, so I'm going to go back into my tunnel that I have over here, and we're going to edit this, and we're going to try to... How do I test this? I guess we test in a couple ways. I'm going to make it HTTPS, and I'm going to hit save, and we're going to see if this works. I really should have tested it before doing that. But, you know, whatever. Live dangerously, etc. All right, now we hit play over here. So I host a game, done. And now I try to join over here. This will probably not work. 2.bot.land. Connect. Yeah, that failed. Okay, but does this work when I do it from here? Godot 2.bot.land. Connect. Okay, it does not. But then here's the real test. Does it work when I do localhost? No. Why is that? 127.0.0.1. That's strange, right? Why doesn't that work? I didn't change anything over here. This isn't even the right code. Yeah, this isn't the right code. Where's the right code? smain.gd, I think. If duty. Oh, probably because of the TLS problem? Oh, so I'm relying on Cloudflare to set up TLS for me, I guess. And that's what it's going to say over here, too. It doesn't actually say that. What? Yeah, what is going on? Okay, I'm actually pretty confused about this. This has nothing to do with tunnel at this point. So when I specify WSS, I guess there's no, like I said, there's no cert, but why wouldn't it give me an error about that? Because that's what I would expect. And don't use a tunnel at all. It doesn't work. I presumably need a certificate. I don't know why I'm not getting a certificate error. Oh, wait a sec. Is the port correct? We have 443. Yeah. Hey, Minachi. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this. But if I change this to just WS, then everything should work, right? Let's try that out. So host this and connect. Okay, so that works. Now what if I try connecting to Godot 2.bot.land? Connect. So that doesn't work. Got 400 expected 101. What is it trying to do? It's trying to connect through, what is 400? Forbidden? Bad request. Yeah, so that's because we're trying to contact an HTTPS server through HTTP. I think the cat just tried to jump up to the windowsill from behind the curtain. Hang on 1 second. Do you want to jump? Okay. I don't know what she's doing. Cat cam, no. It's her. We're just kind of falling. Aw. She looks scared. So WS and localhost works. WS and I guess import 443. What is she doing? I think she wants to jump up to the desk. I don't even know if I should let her do that. The cat shenanigan, yeah. So WS and oh, there she is. She got up here. It's only a matter of time now before you see her on the keyboard camera. There she is. Hello. What a good off-screen cat. Oh, she's leaving now. Okay. All right, and localhost and so WSS and localhost and port 443 doesn't work. And then this would work with the HTTP tunnel. I'm just testing out different configurations here. This is just me trying to understand a bunch of things. Okay, let's close out of this now. I just changed the tunnel to be HTTP, so now we should be able to use it. So host this and connect to Godot 2.bot.land and then save that. Connection closed. What? Who feeds the cat? We both do. Why connection closed? I think this is a port problem. Yeah, it just says bad request. I think if we change the port, okay, let me write this down first. So what do we do here? Works, but doesn't work over an HTTP tunnel. Need to set the port to 8080 for that. But then I need to modify the tunnel again. 8080. Okay, let's go try that out. I'm expecting to be able to connect this time around. Host here and paste. Yep, I can connect with that. All right, yeah, the port definitely matters. And I just don't think it should. So Cloudflare must be doing something, or I don't understand ports. So, and port 8080. So now if I connect to localhost, yeah, that works too. Works requires an HTTP tunnel on 8080. So now what if I made the tunnel HTTPS? What is going to happen here? Save. Okay, so now I try to connect. Does it break? Yeah, it breaks. Does not work with HTTPS tunnel over 8080. Yeah. From each client, is it just the destination port that's static? What's the source port? Source port is going to be chosen by the operating system, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I'm controlling that right now. I've always sent WebSocket requests to an Nginx server that then proxies to a localhost WebSocket server, avoids having to expose any extra ports. I don't have to expose any ports right now. What I'm doing is I'm setting up the port on the tunnel. So, yeah, there's one problem with all this stuff, which is the latency that we're going to encounter. And I don't know how bad that latency is going to be. And I guess we can still use different channels and try to minimize it so that chat messages, for example, don't stop other requests from coming through. So WSS localhost and port 443 do not work. Can I get this to work like this on port 8080? All right, I'll look at that in just a sec, yo. Let me try this out really fast. Although probably I should just look at your resource right now. All right, host over here, and holy cow, she's trying to make it up to the sill, but she can't. I feel bad. She's just gonna keep trying, I guess. So yeah, this doesn't work no matter what I guess I try doing. WSS and localhost doesn't work. Doesn't work on port 8080 either. I must just need a certificate. I know, silly cat. Feel bad. Okay, by default, proxies traffic destined for HTTP and HTTPS ports listed below. How to enable it for additional ports. If traffic for your domain is destined for a different port than the ones listed above, for example, you have SSH that listens on port 22, either change your subdomain to be gray clouded via your Cloudflare DNS app. She's going to try jumping again. No, she's not. Or configure a Spectrum application. Isn't this an enterprise thing? Yeah. So gray clouded. What is this? Am I going to show something if I do this on screen? No, this is fine. There's gray cloud. When it's DNS only, also known as being gray cloud. Oh, interesting. So Cloudflare is doing something more than just DNS here. Huh. Yeah, I'm going through Cloudflare. Let me take a look. Let me take a look at the Cloudflare dashboard off screen. Also, Mike, you can always join us on Twitch if you want. Or watch on YouTube and chat on Twitch. So how do you make something... I don't even configure this. No idea what I'm doing. DNS records, here we go. All right, so the DNS record for Godot 2. There it is. It's a CNAME record that says proxied. Ah, I see. But you have to proxy it if it's going to be over a tunnel, right? If I edit this, what does it do? All right, so I turn this off. TTL, let's set to 1 minute. I'll mess this up. I don't know how this is going to work. But okay, now I have HTTPS over 8080. So this should work. host this, Godot 2.bot.land, connection closed. What am I doing wrong? 8080 is right here. WSS is here. Oh, this never worked in this scenario though. That's why. Because I need to change this to an HTTP and then it might override my DNS record that I just did. Let's find out. All right, but we are much closer. Okay, so now I have a DNS only record for Godot 2.bot.land. I am specifying port 8080 here, HTTP through Cloudflare, and I just refresh this. This better connect. Wait, no, not that one. I meant to do this one. Godot 2.bot. Yeah, that one. That one shouldn't work. It doesn't connect. But Dingus was able to connect. Hmm. Hmm. All right, well, I don't know. I called you banana. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand this. Oh wait, no, it never worked this way, right? It only ever worked through the thing that I was doing online, but I was always proxying through a different port. What was I doing? This worked. HTTP localhost 443. Okay. All right. So if I were to now, all right, I think I finally understand this. And I'm gonna write this stuff down. I click host over here, and then I go to the website, and I try connecting Godot 2.bot.land. This will work. How? What? How did anyone connect to my machine then? With the name Dingus. What? If I can't connect over here? Okay, I have an idea. The opposite of gray cloud is orange cloud. Oh, for the Cloudflare logo. I don't get this. I'm doing something wrong. This, yeah, actually. The only thing I can think is that when I published this version, I was using, yeah, I was using WSS import 443. Okay, so this is hard coded to use 443. How did anybody connect to me then? How is that possible? You would have needed to download this yourself and specify the port to match mine? Who did this? I'm just gonna write down the things that I understand here. Yeah. You did, Mike? Can you tell me, did you have a locally cloned version of the repo? Or were you using the one on share.bot.land? There's a chat with one person in it. No locally cloned repo, just the website. Well, I don't even know how that's possible though. Yeah, I don't understand. Why would it not be possible for me to do that then? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, fine. Well, I'm gonna write down what I understand, like I said, and that's that. So hosting a multiplayer server. Note the Cloudflare tunnels do not support UDP traffic, which means your options for hosting a server are convert to WebSockets, set up a VM, expose your public IP address. It doesn't work for you either. Yeah, so the reason why it's failing is because I don't have this set up over the right port. So if I just change this to 443, wait. The port it's going to try to connect to is 443. So if I change this to No, I don't understand. I don't understand. All right, whatever. Let me set it back to what actually definitely worked here, which was this HTTP 443. Although I kind of want to test something. Oh, this is such a waste of time. Okay, I'm going to test it. We're going to go to this project, export. We're going to publish a version that uses port 8080. And I'm going to see if that works. Yeah. Have I said HTTPS? No, I haven't. But I don't think I need to. Well, I know I don't need to because I didn't the first time around. And it could have been a DNS cache thing. Because, well, I guess it could have been maybe. Yeah, maybe it could have been. All right, is this ever going to finish? I need this to work. No, looks like it's working. Is it going to close? No. What is going on right now? Are these from now? 129, yeah. It looks like it got exported, and it looks like this thing just froze. No, it's back to working. All right, good. Then we can copy all this over, and I can try this again. So what we're testing now is the website is going to have a version that tries connecting to 8080 over WSS. And I have the tunnel set up such that that should actually work. So I just need to host a version of the game there. And then I need to go to the website. And connect. Oh, wait, refresh this. Ooh, okay. What? Did I load the wrong game? I'm probably in the wrong folder over here, aren't I? Oh my God, I am. That hurts. Okay, let's try this again. Wrong game. All right. It's almost online, 70%, 80, 90, 100. Okay, I refresh this. It should be a totally different UI now. Good. And we type Godot 2.bot.land and connect. I am so confused right now. What am I doing wrong? 80, 80. 80, 80. It's trying to connect. Yeah. I have this set to host there. I should have just had this print out the port that it's trying to use. Okay, well, let me try one more thing, I guess. No, wait. No. Let's try the proxied way. So I'm going to edit this. I can't see OBS right now. Crows, thanks for gifting a sub. And welcome, Desert Island. Or Desert Island, excuse me. Desert Island. I'm like not fully context switching to actually responding here. It's trying to use 8080. I know it's trying to use 8080. I just, it should be. I think I just need to proxy this now. Okay, I just changed it. I don't like it when I have to not find the root of this knowledge because I can't, and then I have to just move on. Does this all work locally? Kinda. Yeah, kinda. Let me test this out. Connection closed. Okay, well, there's only one other thing I can change. Although we would have to wait up to a minute for this thing to resolve differently. And maybe I need to refresh the entire page. I don't know. Let's try that out. I'm gonna figure this out. Wants to, I mean, I'll just type it out. I know I could have just allowed it. No, okay. So this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna try one more thing, and it's just change change the port that this is listening on, and listen, and so this still won't work, right? Yeah. And then I go over to here and I start this on 443. And now everything should be fine. Refresh this. I have no idea what's going on then. All right, yeah. No clue. Yeah, sure, I'll allow it. I should have the exact same code I had originally, right? Port is 443, WSS. Yeah. And then I set it back to orange cloud. Good. And I have that set to this. Yeah. I guess I didn't upload a new version, so this is trying to connect to the wrong port. Yeah, that's why. Then that's it. I just want to move on. I think this is a little, just something's not clicking for me right now. So we'll let this build. It's probably not building. It's probably just frozen somewhere else. But I'll let it finish regardless. Oh, there it goes. Okay. And then we will put all of this back onto the cloud. Good. Now we wait. 20%, 40%, 60. Then we refresh this page. It's done. Good. And now we just paste this in and we hit connect. And it worked. Okay, good. So we'll just, that's it. We're done with this. Pointing Cloudflare tunnels at a local WebSocket server. This took a lot of trial and error due to ports and tunneling and having to upload the game a bunch of times. Hey, Darkstorm. So, okay, the part about this working locally, I can now not connect locally. So if I say connect to localhost, it doesn't work. And if I say connect to Godot 2.bat.land, oh no, that does work. Wait, what? I thought that was failing before. Oh, okay, then there's no problem here. Oh. All right. Took a lot of trial and error due to ports and tunneling and having to upload the game a bunch of times. So if you're, I guess the setup is this. The game client is hosted on the cloud somewhere. This is relevant because most browsers are going to block outgoing traffic from an HTTPS site to a WS destination. And the game server is hosted on your own machine. Okay. So here was a setup that worked. So just take this code. Where is it? Networking. Multiplayer. I'll just link directly to the script. Game. This is probably why it didn't work with 8080. I get this, but I thought if I used the gray cloud thing that it would work. I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, well, let's get whatever this is called. I guess main.gd, that's the one, yeah. All right, use the official WebSocket multiplayer demo. And let's get a link to that. WebSocket multiplayer. Canonical link in case that changes. We'll get the canonical link. There we go. Okay, use the official demo and modify main.gd. Yeah, so modify main.gd. Where's that? Here. All right, so set def port to 443. Then in the peer.create client call, set the protocol to WSS, and then set up a Cloudflare tunnel. Let's just link directly to that. Cloudflare tunnel. And the tunnel needs to, the service should be HTTP localhost 443. So why does HTTPS not work here, I wonder? Because that's the part that also doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to edit this and we're going to see what happens. Just change this to HTTPS. Done. All right, so it's been saved. Now all that would have changed is the client. So let's just restart the server anyway, just to make certain there's nothing old going on here. There. All right, now on the server, I connect, and yeah, it stops working. That's the other part of this I don't get. Yeah, of all the things, this one doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. All right, well, this should not be HTTPS, although I don't know why. And then when connecting locally, let's set this back to HTTP now. When connecting locally, we can't, no, we could connect through Godot.bot.land. We just couldn't connect through the, we couldn't connect through localhost. So I say connect to localhost, it fails. And this is because there's no cert setup, I guess. Godot 2.bot.land, so this should work. Yeah. Whatever. Okay, so now when connecting from the hosted game client, when connecting from the game client in the cloud, actually, regardless of how you're connecting, yeah, regardless of where the client is, you'll have to connect through the tunnel. In other words, localhost won't work anymore because you don't have a certificate on your own machine. Cloudflare is handling that through the tunnel. Yeah, so that's the thing. So I guess if you wanted to test this on your own, you either specify a different port, you go through the tunnel, or you set up your own certs. The only thing now that I really want to know is why is there no error about there not being a certificate? Like if I try connecting through localhost, it should give me an error about that. But it doesn't, and it's the... How did I ever get it to give me an error in the first place then? Because what else could this possibly be doing? If I specify this, and I just say host and then connect to, yeah, there's no message down here. It doesn't go from 3 to 4. It's just the stuff about, variables being wrong. I don't know. I don't know how we got that in the first place, but it doesn't matter. We got to move on. This is a waste of time. Yeah, so if you want to be able to connect through, if you want to connect through localhost, then either set up your own certificates or change the protocol to WS. Okay, great. So we figured that out or something. So delete this and delete this. Is there anything I need to extract from here? Oh yeah, probably the thing about ports. Note that you shouldn't try to change the port. Cloudflare doesn't, I don't know, it's this page. Network ports compatible with a proxy. Cloudflare uses a proxy for tunneling, and their proxies expect certain ports. There, cool. Is localhost IPv6? Localhost is a name, so it's not an IP address. And the way that you know what to resolve it to is with your etc host file. So typically you have entries. I don't remember the order of these entries, but it's either in this order or it's these two things flipped. But you have an entry for this and you have an entry for this usually. And so if you wanted to, you could just comment out this entry and now it would be IPv4 all the time. And if you want, you can comment on this entry and it's IPv6 all the time. So generally you shouldn't really use localhost as a name. You should just specify the IP address you want, and that'll save you a lookup, and it'll save you from programs that don't fall back to using the other one if the first one fails. And we literally had this happen on stream the other day when I tried connecting to a database using localhost, and it tried using only the IPv6 address. Okay, cool. This is done. I can write a journal entry, even though we're not done. Above spent, oh yeah, and mentoring. We can put that there since we don't have a bullet too. So spent the day learning about actual Godot multiplayer stuff. I did get caught up on setting up a Cloudflare tunnel since they don't support tunneling over UDP or tunneling UDP, I guess. So I needed to switch to WebSockets, and configuring Cloudflare and Godot wasn't easy. Also mentored 3D Extended. Nice. What happened to the purple water bottle? We still have it. I just switched to a metal one because plastic leaches, and I don't want to deal with that in my system, I guess. Because a water bottle is something you drink from every single day, and I had it for years already. And I don't know how long it takes for it to sort of degrade, but just didn't want to worry about it. Okay, so we did this. Do lead tests? How do you even do a lead test? Okay, so now convert my project to WebSockets. This should be, I think, pretty easy. We just need to copy over stuff that we have here over to this thing. The only peer we ever make, oh, and we need to say a supported protocol. I wonder what this is. WebSocket multiplayer peer supported protocol. Is this, no, the straw is plastic, but I felt like that was at least less surface area than an entire bottle. I've never liked the feel of metal straws. Yeah. So I cut down the risk, but I didn't eliminate it. All right, what are the supported? Oops, I never ever want to do that. All right, what are the supported protocols? See supported protocols. What are we even looking at? This. What? It's not going to tell me what they are?
Whoops.
What? All right. Well, I guess I'll have to consider that, Patootie. I I don't want lead poisoning, but I don't know what I would do if I found out that this had lead in it. I feel like, out of curiosity, how expensive is this 3M lead test kit? Wait, these are like 17 bucks. That's like the cost of the bottle. Hopefully there's no lead. Yeah, I mean, hopefully. You don't know what they're putting in there. I drink from a lead straw, Syntonic. Why use a straw at all? Because it's convenient. I mean, think about it. You have this distance. You need to move your mouth that much closer to the bottle and then turn it with your hands. Are you kidding me? What do I look like to you? Um, yeah, so I don't know where the supported protocols are for this. WebSocket Ludus. Where do you find this? I have no idea what I'm even searching for. What does this mean? All right, let's search over here on the Googs. Is it not supported protocols? No, it is. I typed it right. I don't even know. It literally the only place on the internet that shows up is here. Hey, look at that. Using Godot server behind Cloudflare. Huh. I I wonder if you just don't even need this line. What is this? Hey Brooks, how do you like Obsidian so far? Currently looking for an Evernote alternative, and Obsidian comes up frequently. However, it feels like you need a 3-year degree before you can take notes with it. Also, you're using Google Docs. So I like it. I'm planning on sticking with it for a while. I don't think you need to do anything too crazy to start using it. And I made a video on Obsidian. I'll link this into chat. If you want to italicize a word, like I'm saying, like check this out, you can still just press Command I and it'll italicize the word. So Command I is like the default italicize this word shortcut in most rich text editors. And other than that, I mean, it's just words, right? Like you can style all this text by just selecting things from this this thing over here, the format menu. So it's like if you don't remember how to make a header, if I wanted to do some like new notes over here, then just go up to here and say heading 1 and you're done. So, and by the way, in time, you'll probably learn what these symbols are. So that's the difficulty part. The why am I using Google Docs as well? I like to just keep different kinds of notes separate. Google Docs is mostly for my like ephemeral stream notes that I want to share with people in real time. So most of the docs you see, you have access to. If you go to today.adamlearns.com, you get access to this document. If you want to check out my my tenets document or my stream of consciousness or my journal, these are all available too, although the journal is a spreadsheet, I guess. So yeah, with Obsidian to share in real time, I'm actually not sure if Publish works in real time. Their built-in offering. All right, so what we've learned is nothing. I have no idea what this does or where this came from or how you're supposed to figure out what's even allowed. Like, can I search the Godot GitHub for this maybe? This might be something you're specifying to the operating system though, and the Godot just passes on. It just doesn't even show up. Okay, well, whatever. I don't care. I'm just going to delete this and we're going to see if it still works. So I'm going to restart this. We're going to say host and bot.land connect. Yeah, well, it works. So then ignore that, I guess. Yeah, no information on this on the entire internet. I guess I should probably write that somewhere. this example, where is the example? Proto name. They don't even use this, by the way. It's literally defined for no reason because down here they hard code. So this example mentions Ludus, but I can't find any information on the internet about what that means or which other options are supported. That line can be safely omitted completely as well. Shrug. Yeah. What is this node app that I'm using? I'm using Obsidian. Check out the Obsidian command. Chat game custom. I mean, maybe they are just random words you can type in, and it just needs to be the same on the server and the client. Like, you know what's kind of funny about this is I'll eventually publish this note. And when you search for this sort of thing, you can then find it. And this will be the third result on the internet saying, I couldn't find any other results on the internet. In fact, I think that's true. I think if we just go to some random node I have over here. Yeah, like this. Rust uses snake case. If we search for this using Google, does it find my notes? It does, yeah. So eventually you'll search Ludus and it'll show up. Oh, how funny. Any tips on how to stand out as a junior dev with a low amount of work experience? Typically, the way is they're either interview super well or come up with side projects that are, fantastic. That's about it. I mean, there's really not much else you can do unless you're saying you already have the job and you want to stand out, in which case it's take on more responsibility. Oh man. All right. Yeah, so let's get back to this. Wear a funny hat. Wear blaze orange. Give everybody else camouflage. You don't need to make yourself stand out. You can make everyone else not stand out. No, but I did give serious answers. If those aren't applicable or sufficient, do let me know. I'm happy to share more. I'm also happy to give many more snarky answers. All right, so if we just make a different peer instead of this, then what happens? So where is the peer that we connect with? Here we make an eNet multiplayer peer, but we do specify a different client thing. Create client. Ludus means play or game in Latin. Maybe that's the explanation. Oh, is that where Ludum Dare comes from? Okay. Yeah. Huh. All right, so I want to copy paste this entire thing into a backup of when I used eNet. All right, and we're going to see what it takes to convert this thing. So I think anytime we make a peer, we can just change this out. Peer equals. So replace this one. Whoops. Replace that. And then same thing in the other place where it's done. Yeah, here. So I do those two things, and then I create this with a different address, and that's it. What's the current address? Oh, you type it in. And this was just an IP address, but it's got to be a WSS. Actually, it probably has a default if you don't do this. But, oh, they put it all into one thing. Wait, what? How did they? Something's amiss here. I want to see the documentation for this. Where's that peer again? Here it is. Currently on the hunt for my first position. Only have 10 weeks of internship as my work experience. Yeah, hopefully you're in a position where you can kind of, make a portfolio a little bit. And the nice thing is it's going to help you in the process. So even if you think of it as just for a job, you should be learning something. So yeah, set up a GitHub and just set out to do some project. And the project doesn't have to take a super long time either. You could spend like a weekend on it and have something that maybe you're happy with. Also, it gives you something else to do that makes you feel like, well, at least I'm working towards something. So I think it helps for that too. It's a Latin connection protocol. Yeah. My stream is more relatable when I don't know what I'm doing. I think having the spectrum of expertise on this stream is a good thing, but I suspect people probably want to watch an expert more than want to watch a novice. And in this case, there were a lot of things I was just like, man, I don't know how these things connect or what's going on here. And in other ways, like making mistakes, I'm an expert. I can make lots of mistakes. What are we looking at here? We're looking at create client. I want to see how this works. Starts a new multiplayer client, the URL. They'll be verified against the host name when connecting using this protocol. You can pass optional options parameter to customize the trusted cert authority or disable common name verification. Recommended to specify the scheme part of the URL. Okay, so then we should just replace this. And what? The second option is the port still? No, there is no port. This is just totally different. Okay. Well, there's no port specified explicitly. It's specified as part of the address. So we copy this. And by the way, there's a reason why I'm doing things this way. And I'll say it now, but it's probably not going to be obvious why. I want to come up with the minimal possible change you have to make to go from using eNet to using WebSockets. So now all we need to do is change this create client. So we duplicate it, comment out the first one, and then pass in this. This will turn to def port. Wait, what? It was def port in both places? No, it was port here. Port. Okay, and then instead of host edit.txt, this is going to be address. And that's it. I think we should just be good. So now we close out of this, quit to project list. We go to multiplayer from scratch. And then I start 2 of the game. It already failed. Cannot pass a value type int as string. Is it this? Because I can't think of what else it would be. What line is it on? Line 49. Oh, create server has a different call. Create server. Yeah, it just takes a port. There's no max connections. Interesting. Okay. All right. Will it work? So we host over here and we try to join over here. This should fail because it's going to do localhost. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take forever to fail. No, that wasn't forever. But if I specify Godot 2.bot.land and I hit join, it still doesn't work. Oh, because the port is wrong, right? Yeah, the port needs to be 443, which I guess then we can do this. Yeah, right? Probably. Let's try this again. So host, join. Yep, I was pretty sure that was going to fail. Now Godot 2.bot.land. Now this should work. It did. Nice. So now we have Joey and Jeffrey. Basically the same name. All right, so then this was not that bad. Experts still make mistakes. Why I like watching live coding. Good way to watch our people work through problems. Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, I want to watch someone who knows what they're doing, but I guess that's also followable. But I tend not to watch coding streams too much, only because coding to me is work and I usually just want to relax if I'm already done streaming. Okay, so now all we need to do is diff this file, compare with this file. And we should see the very few changes I had to make. Yeah. All right, now we're going to write this down, and then we're never going to forget. So multiplayer API. What is this under? WebSocket multiplayer peer. Where is this? This is just under like some main documentation thing. Yeah, just other objects. So it's not technically part of multiplayer API, I'm guessing. It inherits multiplayer peer. Okay. Well, we wrote about high-level multiplayer somewhere, right? Mm. I guess I'll just write this here. Okay, so converting. What did I convert? eNet multiplayer peer to WebSocket multiplayer peer. This is very straightforward. Is there diff highlighting in whatever this is? Test. Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. Hey, Caleb. RIP Twitch chat. I think it should still be working. And hey, Hertex. Wait, did I? Oh, did Twitch chat die? I see. I feel like a bunch of messages showed up all at once for me. Maybe that's not true. I have a few projects in a portfolio page, but I don't know how to use or show them. You know, it's tough because without knowing what the hiring process is like at the company you want to work for, you don't know if anyone's actually going to look at it. But I think having some way of showing off the projects is good. So for example, I've applied for a company in the past where I had this game on my portfolio, and when I got hired on the job, they said, "Oh yeah, we actually played through that game one day." I'm like, "Did you?" And yeah, so like you never know. People might look at it, they might not look at it, and if they do, then hopefully they enjoy the code that they're seeing or whatever project you made. I think some of the interview process is just getting over people's biases, and one way to kind of do that, people have a bias that like if you have personal projects, then you will probably be a good addition to the team because it shows you take initiative. It's like that's not always true, but if people have that bias, then gotta kind of work with that. Just connected, yeah. All right, I'm gonna take. I know it's almost jump time. I just want to finish these. Actually, no. Let's just take the break now, and I'll just write that this is where I left off. Where I left off, writing notes about converting my project to use WebSockets. Let's just close every other tab I've got. Why is it not closing? Why is everything freezing on me today? Or am I doing something wrong? Are these tabs just going to magically disappear? They're not. What? What's happening? Close tabs to the right. Huh. Keyboard shortcut didn't work for that. Does it work now? No. Very weird. Close tabs to the right. Alt, Shift, Command, W. Yeah. What is going on? I need to unplug my keyboard? Weird. Huh. I think a link to your portfolio from your CV is probably good enough. And then if you ever write a cover letter, you could say something like, hey, I really want to highlight this project I did or something like that. Okay, let's close out of this. And let's switch. For those who haven't seen what's about to happen, you can only play it through Twitch right now. But the instructions will be on the screen. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hey everybody. $15 players. Pretty good. Close the game. Okay, yeah. So where I left off was writing these notes with the diff. It's pretty simple. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to copy this. Actually, I guess the way I could have done this, well, doesn't really matter. I'm going to write minus here and a plus here. Hey, Benedict bind. Supported protocols are here. I had to know. Wait, you linked to line 159, but what? This doesn't have the supported protocols, right? I would just need to see what WebSockets, where they end up. Oh, so we got to figure out, this now goes into like MDN territory or something? MDN new WebSocket? Protocol. The sub protocol. What are the values? What are the values? One of the strings in the protocols parameter. Oh, wait, did I miss that? Protocols. Protocols. Either a single protocol string or an array of them. Sec WebSocket protocol. What? Subprotocols may be selected from this registry. Where am I going with this? What is going on? I mean, Ludus isn't here. Yeah, I think they just made something up. Do customization save during the end screen yet? No, they don't. And how's the kitty doing? She's a lot better, like 99% better, I'd say. I just took a picture of her. She's on our bed. There's a heating pad, but it wasn't on. But she doesn't know that it's not on. Yeah, I can't really show you this picture. Is there any picture I can show? Here's a picture of her cat loafing on the floor. How adorable. It's just a custom name for their own protocol. Okay, well, thank you for hunting that down. This is nuts. Nuts. So let's go copy a link to this. Line 159. Yeah, it's already canonical. Ludus, which I don't think is a real protocol. If you, here is the line of code where the engine uses the protocol. I guess I'll do it this way. Which shows that it's just passed to the WebSocket constructor. Oh, actually, that part about it being safely omitted, I guess we can include. Okay, so then WebSocket constructor shows that it's just the protocol. All right, take care, yo. Thank you for hunting that down. At that point, you can hunt down the documentation for the protocols, e.g. here, which eventually leads to this page of sub protocols, which is this. Oh, or maybe a custom name jointly understood by the client and server. Okay, let's just copy this in then. Isn't a real protocol. Here's a line of code where the engine uses the protocol, which was just passed to the WebSocket constructor. At that point, you come down to the documentation for the protocols here, which eventually leads to the page of sub protocols here. However, that documentation says that the protocol may be a name jointly understood by the client and server. It can, yeah, line can be safely omitted. Great, cool. I feel like they could have just put it in their code, right? At the top. Well, not this file. Where was it? Anyway, wherever it was, they could have put that in the code saying like, this just is a, random thing that has to match on the client and server. Yeah. But there's no comment here and there's no comment here. And you can't find this in many different areas on the internet. I'd expect it to be in documentation somewhere. All right, well, let's get back to the task at hand, which was this. So this is a minus, this is a plus. All right, where else do we have changes? That's it? Wait, did I already cover this one? New, and then, yeah, and I want to write some comments here for this. Minus, plus. All right, anything else? Just this port equals 443, but that's technically not necessary. Yeah, I'll still put this over here though. Okay, change. Oh, wait. How do we put comments? I guess diff doesn't have comments. Diff syntax highlighting. Comments. Usually it's a diff of syntax. So like a diff of C++, for example. Yeah, I guess I can't really do that, huh? Okay, well, whatever. So I'll write this. The port probably doesn't have to change, but if you're using Cloudflare tunnel, it should be 443. Okay, and make a different peer all over your, wherever you make a peer, I guess. And then creating the server has a very slightly different signature. I'm just never gonna move forward with this stuff because I just keep looking up more and more about the documentation. Create server, port bind address. Yeah, so there is no max connections thing. Okay, and then creating the client as you specify the address and port all on one line. Okay. Maybe I'll use 3 dashes. Now it's getting interpreted as just removal. Instead of having Copilot or Chat GPT tab open for some of these doc questions. I haven't, I guess. I haven't really thought about trusting an AI for that. All right. Wow. Well, I think we're done with that now. So convert my project to WebSockets and then put this online with a tunnel. And if that works, write notes about everything. Well, at least we did that part already. So now we just need to put this online. What even are we putting online right now? I guess this. I guess let's populate this with my address to begin with. So text is going to be Godot 2.bot.land. So we just hit play and then host and join. And it works. And that's it. There's no game. It's just a list of players who joined. All right, so I'm gonna put this online. Project whoops. Project export. Web export. Save export. Actually, get rid of the debug information. No, it's stupid dialogue. Hate your guts dialogue. One thing that people might not know about Godot, which is actually pretty impressive, the editor itself is made in Godot. So everything you see here is running in, well, was made in Godot engine to begin with. Mainly related to docs and CloudFormation. By the way, writing documentation for your own code, I think having the AI help with is not so bad. But having it come up with how is this API supposed to be called for some code that exists in a different library, that's where I don't really want to use it. Is it freezing again? Yes, it is freezing again and taking a very long time. Should also write big chunks of the editor in the script system. Yeah, I generally think that's the right way to do things. And it shows how capable your engine is. And then you're always self-hosting the engine. So if any improvements are there that you want to make, you will see them. But it's just a neat little fact. Just like this fact, which is that exporting this game has taken something like 40 seconds so far. To be fair, Godot usually doesn't have this problem. I don't know why this is happening. It might be something in the newest version. Maybe it's just frozen though. All right, well, let's go see. Did it output something? Where's my code? $14.23. Yeah, that sounds like it outputted. I guess Godot's just frozen now. Yeah, guess it's just frozen. Guess we'll quit it. All right, now let's get the right code here. This is not it. The right code is in this folder. I want all of this stuff online. Okay, then we can go restart Godot. What a journey. You know, I think the way most people would have gone about this is they would have been like, hey, here's a working server. Let me just adapt it. And that's what I was doing when I was following a YouTube tutorial. I was just writing code, and then I was like, I'm not really sure I fully understand everything though, and I want to fully understand everything, especially if I'm going to be doing this on stream. So I recognize that I did all this very slowly. All right, let's hit host over here. And then if I go join on share.bot.land. All right, so I'm going to connect as Shrek. Join. Nice. Shrek and Hagrid are in the world together now. Yeah, so if anyone else wants to join, this is probably a dumb idea. But there you go. Hey, Adam joined. That's me. All right. I guess if I disconnect now, I should still see. Yeah, nice. Two Jeffreys. Now I've seen everything. Well, Shrek is gone now. Yeah, so this is what I was kind of hoping for originally, is that I could just set something up and have it running on my machine and just be able to test things out over here. And so, yeah, it does look like this is working. Donkey. All right, I'm going to close out of this, which should disconnect everybody, I think. Close. I still have this one running. That's strange. It says debugger 1. There's no actual, oh, there it is. It's in session 2. Yeah, I saw this happen a couple times. Not really sure about that. Oh man, all right, what is on the list now? So put this online with a tunnel, we did that. Test making a dedicated server, let's go try that out. Clicking join multiple times to duplicate my name in the list. Yeah, I think those are the kinds of things you just shouldn't be able to do in the game UI anyway. So like imagine once you join, it should disable the button, and then once you have joined, you should just be on a different screen altogether. So if you want to run a dedicated server for your project on a machine that doesn't have a GPU or display server, you'll need to run Godot with a headless display server and dummy audio driver. Since Godot 4, this can be done by running a Godot binary on any platform with a headless command line argument or running a project exported as dedicated server. You do not need to use a specialized server binary anymore. Okay, let's just keep reading, I guess. It's possible to use either an editor or export template. I don't even know what that is. Editor template. I've only ever seen the export templates. There are editor features. Yeah, what are these? Godot editor template. Script template. I would have expected that to return something. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That didn't really help. Possible to use either an editor or Oh, maybe they're not saying editor template. Maybe they're just saying an editor. Oh. Okay, well, whatever. All right. Which one you choose depends on this. Yeah, they are. Okay, it's clear in the... Oh my God. Yeah, whatever. Use this one when running dedicated servers. It does not contain editor functionality and is therefore smaller and more optimized. And this binary contains editor functionality is intended to be used for exporting projects. This binary can be used to run dedicated servers, but it's not recommended. So just use an export template, right? All right, export approaches. There are two ways to export a project for a server. Create a separate export preset for the platform that will host the server, then export your project as usual, or export a PCK file only, preferably for the platform that matches the platform that will host the server. Place this in the same folder as an export template binary. Oh, Bazooka, thanks for subbing. Happy 3 months. Turns out editor template is an editor. Yeah, if you're ever writing a sentence like this, by the way, it helps to just sometimes swap the order to make it unambiguous. So if you just say this or editor, it's possible to use either an export template or, well, an editor. And that way, there's no way you could apply template to both of these things. Export a PCK file, put in the same folder as the template binary, rename the binary to have the same name as the PCK, minus the extension, then run the binary. Both methods should result in identical output. Rest of the page will focus on the first approach. Okay, fine. I mean, the first approach sounds easier anyway. See exporting projects for more information, exporting a project for a dedicated server. If you export a project as usual when targeting a server, you will notice that the PCK file is just as large as for the client. This is because it includes all resources, including those the server doesn't need, such as texture data. Additionally, headless mode won't be automatically used. The user will have to specify it. Okay. Many resources such as textures can be stripped from the PCK to greatly reduce its size. Godot offers a way to do this for textures and materials in a way that preserves references in scenes or resource files. To begin doing so, make sure you have a dedicated export preset for your server, then select it, go to its resources, and change its export mode. So dedicated export preset for your server. Okay, I guess we go to manage export templates. No, that's not what I meant. Export, and then make a new one of these. And then I don't know. I guess in this case, we just pick Mac and say name. Can't customize the name. Oh, you can. It's just lagging. Dedicated server. Oh, finally typed it out. Good. I wonder if there's something I could do to make that not lag. So dedicated export preset for your server. Select it, go to resources and change its export mode. Select it, go to resources and change its export mode. I'll take this time to tell you I did see the Wonka movie last night, and it was great. And I finally understand now why someone said something about Wonka and Dune. I didn't realize Timothy Chalamet is in Wonka because I don't know anything about any movies. So I just made some offhand comment when someone said that in chat yesterday. Anyway, the reason why this story came up just now. Oh, nice. Thank you, Free Technic. 2 years and 1 month. Much obliged. Thanks for resubbing. The reason this came up right now is because we went and we sat down in the theater, and then my wife was like, I want to get popcorn. And so we went and stood in line. It was a very long line, and I started a stopwatch because I like doing this now when we go to lines. And it took 19 minutes, by the way, to get to the front of the line. But for almost that entire 19 minutes, the couple behind us was just like nonstop complaining about like, they only have 2 people working here. How long is it going to take to get? And I just thought, you could be doing anything else right now. You could be talking about anything, and you choose to complain about being stuck in this line. You could leave the line too. you could have come here earlier. Is it because I love chocolate? No, it's because I love Willy Wonka. That's the human condition, though. I don't think so. I think that's just negative people. All right, so in this case, we choose export as dedicated server. I really want to make a picture guide for how to do this, but I can't even like load the editor right now. Am I any better than those people in line if I'm constantly complaining about this? Yes, study. Well, a couple in front of us was listening to us, I think, and then turned around midway through and said, so what movie are you seeing? And then they asked how long we've been together for. And then they told us that they went to a very fancy restaurant in town. And afterward, my wife is like, I think they only talked to us to tell us that they went to a very fancy restaurant. And I'm like, I think they just wanted to make conversation stuck in a 19-minute long line. Did they get the Dune popcorn bucket? No, it was just a regular bag of popcorn. There's a warning, invalid mix rate of 0. I think my entire computer is freezing right now. Oh, there it goes. I'm not sure if I'd always seen that. I don't even know where it is, though. Oh, man, I can't click this anymore. All right, I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know what I was supposed to do to fix this. Is there some, like, bug report about Godot lagging like crazy? Godot export. It's not even really export lag. That's GH. Fix jitter, stutter, and input lag. 4 months ago. This is really just in the editor, though. What type of popcorn? I think my wife just got like normal butter popcorn. I don't think there were many types there. I think it's just popcorn with or without butter. Yeah, I definitely want to check out Dune Part 2. All right, they have the engine here, which means they must have issues here. They've just got a casual 9600 issues. So there's pretty much no chance I'm going to find it if I search for this, but let's just search for Mac OS lag. All right, 17, that's not too bad to look through. Editor cannot be dragged by title bar or lags considerably when dragged. Yeah, this happened to me too. It's actually pretty frustrating. Full screen button does nothing in this state. Is this reproducible later? Yes, can reproduce. It still exists. The same as this one. Okay. What else? Terrain, tile map editor slow. Typing in text edit node on iOS causes CPU usage to rise. This is kind of close to what I have a problem with. I guess it is typing in a text edit. It just happens to be on Mac OS. But there are no comments here. But they also have 2,000 characters. I have like 0 in mine. MacBook heats up extremely fast. Frame stutter. Godot editor drag and drop. I don't see a bug on this. And there are 27 closed. If there was one recently closed, I guess we could look at that. Lag spikes after export. Oh, hey, this is it. Oh my God, that's bad. Oh, that's really bad. You shouldn't you shouldn't do this. Okay. What browser are you testing these on? Standard shader compilation stutter, which is being tracked or pronounced on web platform. This seems like this is when playing on the web. I'm not sure though. Going to the theater this weekend, looking forward to it. Are you going to see Wonka? Or are you somehow seeing an advanced copy of Dune? Why would you not have sweet and salty popcorn in the US? I don't think that's a thing at theaters. There are all sorts of popcorns I've had outside of theaters, but in theaters, I think it's usually just butter popcorn. Although maybe that's like a local theater thing. I guess other Americans can chime in. I'm looking to buy either the MX Keys or MX Mechanical keyboard. I'll be using with my Mac. Anybody ever used either? I think I've heard of these. These are the Logitech ones. So I haven't used either one of these, but at this point, I'd be steering myself toward an ergonomic keyboard. But I guess it depends on what you want on a keyboard. Also, if you want a cheap ergonomic keyboard, the Microsoft one is pretty good. Ergonomic keyboard. Well, I say cheap, but I mean cheap compared to the kinds of keyboards that enthusiasts use. I think this one is like 30 bucks most of the time. Amazon, Microsoft ergonomic keyboard. Currently unavailable. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what it's called or how to find it, but that might not be bad. Never gotten a flavor option for popcorn at theaters other than a butter slider. Butter slider. Imagine it's like an actual like thing you gotta dial forward. Maximum butter. I want my hands dripping when I just take one kernel out of the bag. All right, I'm gonna stop looking into this and I'm going to instead just suck it up and write my notes. I have clicked the editor. Time to fail on those Microsoft ergonomic keyboards now. Surface starts peeling off after a few years of use. A few years of use for like a $30 keyboard though really isn't too bad. But I was using one of those keyboards for a long time. I don't think I had that problem, but maybe it's a new issue. Okay, so much for suck it up. I clicked the editor a while ago. It still hasn't opened. Let's just force quit it again and try one more time. And if it doesn't work then too, maybe this is some problem with some other software I've opened. But I have so little open. Maybe somehow it's OBS. I just don't know what to do. All right, we're going to try this one more time. Go to export. Okay, so step one, make a dedicated server thing. And then click resources. There. All right, now, where are we going to write these notes? I guess we'll just make a new section. Creating a dedicated server. So there's no need to run Godot with the entire GUI running, GUI and audio. What's it called? Audio something. Audio driver. I think something's wrong with my system right now. Because it's even sluggish going between Obsidian and Chrome. Oh man, why is this stuff happening? It shouldn't be an issue with the hardware. The hardware should be very beefy. Yeah, OBS using a lot of CPU is normal. I think that's fine. Any memory things? No, not really. I don't know why FileZilla is using 2 gigabytes. That seems weird. What if I quit that app? What if FileZilla was the culprit all along? It's just some Scooby-Doo episode we're stuck in. Well, I don't see anything majorly wrong. So yeah, let's keep going. All right, there's no need to run Godot with the entire GUI and audio driver. You can run a dedicated headless server to set this up. I'm not running out of RAM. I have like 31 gigabytes left. And I just shut down last night, so it's not like, I don't know, some memory leak was happening or something in an app I have. Yeah, wow. This is becoming like more and more unusable as I can't even go quickly between applications. So to set this up, step one. Why is this typing 50 out? Yeah, so step one is going to be create a go to project export. And make a new preset, I guess. Make a new export template for the that matches the platform where the server will run. Yep. And then click resources in the see the screenshot above. Okay. Camera's also freezing sometimes. I think the camera freezing is related to whatever the slowdown is, but I'm just not exactly sure what's causing this. For eNet, you can set it by calling get peer set timeout. By default, it's set to 30 seconds. Oh, interesting, Blub. Okay, well, that's very nice of you. There is a point. All right, I'm going to write this down somewhere regarding timeouts. Yeah, there. Okay. Now I don't need to write anything. Okay, so we click resources, we go to export as dedicated server. There we go. Yeah, well, this is definitely going to drive me crazy, but there's no way that I'm gonna take a break and then like restart my computer and come back. I'll probably just stop the stream if that's what's gonna happen. All right, click resources and then select export as dedicated server. Okay. Then what do we do? I think hardware should be designed to be repairable and durable. I definitely agree. I think it should be designed that way, as long as it's not a major cost trade-off. So for example, let's say you buy something that's supposed to be $10 and to make it repairable, it would be $20. Like that's probably not a good trade-off. But yeah, if you're buying a $2,000 computer or something like that, and to make it repairable would be $2,050, that's probably a good trade-off. So when this export mode is chosen, the feature tag is automatically added to the exported project. If you do not wish to use this export mode but still want that tag, you can write the name dedicated server in the features tab. This will also force headless. Wait, I thought they said you... Oh, I see. I thought these were instructions that were going to make it so that I'd still have to specify headless, but they're saying that no, you don't have to do that if you do this. So after selecting this, you'll be presented with a list of resources in the project, and then you pick whether you want these to stay in the project or not. Okay, so I only have one resource, and it's the icon. I can't even load. Okay, something's definitely busted here. I can't even see my dock now on Mac OS by going to the bottom of the screen. How do I even go to Godot? Everything's failing. Oh man. I truly cannot control this. That works. Huh. Well, I chose a bad time to try to write notes. I guess let's just read through this page then and yeah, and not actually do these steps. And I'll have to try this again at some other point. All right, so let's do override things here, strip visuals whenever possible. Something else is eating my CPU, but wouldn't it show an activity monitor? Like, I have this sorted by what's using my CPU. Also, it says idle 81%. It's really not using that much CPU. And I don't see anything unusual here other than this right now. I don't know why the Windows server is using so much. But yeah, Godot, just quit this. And does anyone else see anything unusual here? Right? It's like there are only a few things that are even above 25%. What was OBS? It is possible. I don't find it likely, but it's possible. Godot's still not closed. When was the last time I restarted? Probably like 15 hours ago, maybe. Oh wait, no, sorry. That's when I shut down. I actually turned it back on maybe 30 minutes before the stream, 60 minutes before the stream. So 8 hours ago, maybe. All right, well, Godot is closed. Is everything snappy again? Let me see. Yes. Okay, well, it's got to be Godot. All right, and then for the rest of the steps, read the reference link above. I'm using a Mac with M2 Pro. It's an M2 Ultra. Pretty sure, yeah. M2 Ultra. But what is this anyway? Unresponsive on Apple Silicon. This was closed. When was this closed? Closed in December as completed. So it probably already got incorporated into a build by now. But I don't know. Excuse me, time to upgrade, oh man. That would be terrible. All right, here's what I'm going to move this mat and I'm going to sit down. Just want to stretch my legs a bit. Godot is mining Bitcoin to fund the project. You know, I haven't really missed Windows. I do kind of miss how Windows handles applications in Windows, but that's only because I got used to it. I think things are mostly okay now. There's a linked issue which is still open. It's related to CPU usage, which looked normal. Switch to another renderer, it seemed. Okay. I could try that out. I guess I'll just write it down. Where's my to-do list? Here we go. Yeah, so if I still encounter issues with Godot lagging, then maybe try switching to a different renderer. And then we'll link, where's that page here? see the link to issue. Read the reference link above. I'm guessing this should be pretty straightforward, right? You have to customize which things you want to keep and which you want to use, and then starting it. If both your client and server are part of the same Godot project, you'll have to add a way to start the server directly using a command line argument. I see. If you exported the project using export as dedicated server, use the dedicated server feature tag. You also wish to host the server using built-in headless command, and then by adding the following code. What? So we're running a Godot binary with a headless command line argument. Oh, interesting. I see. Oh, okay. Wow, this seems pretty easy. And you could build this for Linux and then run it in a Docker container? Did they actually write about that somewhere? Next steps? Oh, I see. One-click deploy. Once a platform is properly configured and supported device is connected. Interesting. All right, I don't think I'll have a need for that. But yeah, this dedicated server stuff is pretty cool. I would like to try it. I guess we can try launching Godot and just change the renderer. Or just try to make it through these dialogues and never command tab out of here. Failed to load script with parse error. What? All right, well, I'm going to try closing everything. We're going to go over to this view, and then we're going to try exporting now. So I go over to here. It's pretty snappy right now, at least. Strip visuals. I mean, that sounds fine. And then just set an export path. Okay, now it's freezing. Okay, so how do we change the renderer for this? I guess there's nothing you can do when it's freezing. Editor. I'm done. I don't care. I'm not doing this. We're gonna quit this. This is not worth the hassle. And it hasn't really been doing this the other times, so yeah, just quit this thing. Is it rendered in the top right? It probably is, and I have now given up. You can apparently customize it in the top right of the editor. Okay, so what remains on the list? Test making a dedicated server. Still want to do that. How do I get GDScript type information on a Hover and VS Code? This we can try to do without... Oh, no, we do need Godot running. Never mind. Try making a multiplayer thing from scratch. Is there a way to have some strict type checking? Learn about networking, take notes. Which platform I'm running? Yes, I do. I answered that. On the server, you can call multiplayer get remote sender ID. Can you trust the result of this? Oh, yeah, that is a good question. Godot spoof. Change from forward plus to OpenGL compatibility. I see. And he knows on how to find a lifelong partner. Oh man, Caleb. No. Oh man. I'm laughing at the idea of taking the notes, not the spirit of the question, because I know you just said on Valentine's Day that you need to find someone. Get a cat or dog. Yeah, that I can give you thorough notes on. Go to shelter. Fall in love with cat or dog. Yes, I want to find out, can you trust this? Is it safe enough? RPC sender ID? I mean, this is from 5 years ago, but still, let's read this. Using RPC to send some character updates, want some basic validation that the peer sending the update is allowed to update it. Is this safe, as in, can the value be overwritten? it's not, it's just calling a stored variable. It's not what? Not safe. So if you get a new request and you try to call it, the ID could be another one than expected. One is a host player. RPC right now is to update the other peers' location in the rotation. You don't want a malicious peer to try to move. I think some things have changed since this was written, because this master mode thing is no longer there. Yeah, I get the architecture they're talking about. I'm just curious, what provides this? Is it the server that knows the connection? What was the thing I wanted for VS Code with Godot now again? I wanted a couple of things. One is getting type information in VS Code for Godot classes. So let's say, where's a good example? Like this, peer.create client. I can't hover over this and have it show information. I don't have a go-to definition. And I'm pretty sure that's all supposed to be provided from this. It says syntax highlighting, full typed GDScript support, function definitions, and documentation display on hover. Yeah, like this, input.isAction pressed. They've got it right in their picture. If input dot, it's capitalized, right? Yeah, is action just pressed. I mean, I don't have Godot running, so I'm pretty sure that's why this wouldn't work. Oh, what if it's that? I don't know. I don't want to run this again. Yeah, I don't want to even launch Godot again today. Can change renderer option to do exporting. Oh, interesting. Renderer name requires driver support. -- rendering method or rendering driver. I wonder what the options are, because there's that OpenGL whatever compatibility one. I'll try it again at some other point. Yeah, so what does this do? Where do they have this defined? GitHub, Godot, get remote sender ID. All right, code and search. Scene multiplayer here. ID equals 0, GD virtual call, get remote sender ID. Return remote sender override or remote sender ID. And what is this thing? It's a scene multiplayer. I don't think it's trusting whatever a client passed. I'm not sure what generates these IDs. Maybe we can just find in the regular documentation. Where are their docs? Learn. Yeah. Here it is. Returns the sender's peer ID for the RPC currently being executed. Not sure. Not sure how we would. Yeah. Not sure how we would test this. And this is the kind of thing where if you care about it in your game and you find out you shouldn't have trusted this and you trust it everywhere, you'll probably only find out you shouldn't have trusted it once it's too late. Oh, it depends on what the implications are for whatever game you're making. I'd like an authoritative answer on this, though. And I think the only way to get that is to start looking through their code and seeing how this is generated. What are we using in the code that I had here? Multiplayer get unique ID. Turns unique peer ID of this player's multiplayer peer. Peer object to handle the RPC system. Set root node. Yeah. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. Well, I don't know. Yeah. I guess I'll at least write down that I don't know. Okay, so when it comes to this, I couldn't find documentation saying whether this can be trusted on the server or whether the client can spoof other players' IDs. Yeah. Don't have an answer for this. Okay, well, I said at some point the floodgates will just open. The only things we have left to do are these three, and then we could actually start using Godot to make some multiplayer game. And at first, it's probably just going to be some really simple thing. Oh, actually, I guess what I wanted to learn at first were a couple of techniques. Figure out host the client on the web somewhere, host the server on my own. Yeah, try out networked physics. Hmm. Yeah, these things. Okay, well, let's look into the strict type checking. Godot GD script strict type checking. Static typing. Can I enforce this stuff though? Make sure that whatever you have. I guess I can't test a lot of this without the language server open, and I can't do that without Godot open. What have I gotten myself into? Brief look at static typing. I wonder if there is something that allows you to warning system. Ah, warning system complements typed GD script. Here to help you avoid mistakes. Configure warnings in the project setting. Okay, I think this is what we want. I will need to test this once Godot is working again. All right, yeah. Well, let's pivot again here and take a look at some of the other things that are on this list. So there's quite a lot of stuff going on that I need to do. And the stuff that we've been focusing on has been the Godot multiplayer work. And I just started this yesterday, right? Yesterday and today. I think it's going to be next week as well, which means Wednesday through Friday. And that brings us to, let me take a look at the calendar. That brings us to the 23rd. So then there are only 4 more days in February. So what else do I have on the list for February? Try interviewing people. I think there's still a prereq for that I haven't satisfied, which is get a question asking thing set up. So I don't think this is going to happen in February. Set up a collaboration of some sort. I still want to put a team together and break into a casino somewhere, you know, like a heist. Maybe oceans something. I don't know, just spitballing ideas here. We'll need people with different specializations though. Yeah. Yeah, once we have that team. You'll join Caleb? Okay. Yeah. What's your specialization? Can you blow something up? Yeah. It'll stop you from commenting on how I iron my shirts. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bank heist. I did not talk about a bank heist. I talked about a casino heist. Oh, you're out. If it's between $11 million and the freedom to comment on someone's shirt, MPV takes the shirt comments. Okay, this stuff is going to be, let's see, yeah, main content. I want to learn Godot multiplayer. I guess we've been doing that. Video editing techniques and the OAuth stuff. Yeah, I think this stuff will still happen. You can fit in casino safe boxes. How many seconds of oxygen will you have? Oh man. I'm just wondering what would it be like if you were actually trying to coordinate a heist on a live stream? I mean, there's so many funny aspects to this. Like, could you actually do it? What level of viewership would you have to be able to fly under the radar? Not get news outlets to report on it and stuff? Yeah, I think January was a much more scoped out month. There were very specific deliverables I kind of considered myself having. February was more like, hey, there's a bunch of things that I have ideas for that I want to try. So I think this is not going to happen in February. We'll just move that out. The simulcasting thing I think has been interesting so far. There hasn't been a lot of activity on YouTube, and I'm still not sure how discoverability is on YouTube. You need to disable VODs if you're going to plan something. I mean, you need to disable live stream if you're going to plan something. Yeah. Sadly, only hard work seems to work. I think there are some things that are maybe hard to get set up, but that aren't hard to continue. Like drop shipping has now been done to death, but when it was first starting out, I think that was probably a pretty good way to make money and not really have to put in a lot of time. I saw your stream on YouTube immediately. Yeah, the discoverability I'm talking about though is more along the lines of how do new people find the channel on YouTube? For watching the VOD, you like the YouTube video? I think I still prefer Twitch for watching VOD, so I get the chat alongside it. Hey, Cece. How you doing? Yeah, so I know I have some question marks here on the schedule. I think for those who haven't heard me say this, I started streaming again on December 4th. And the first year was just supposed to be about exploration, just figuring things out, finding my footing. And so I don't think there's been a sort of typical set of content yet on the channel. And there have been some things that have been happening for a while, like working on the bot, mentoring, I guess Jump Royale, and now this new stuff with Godot. But I just, yeah, I'm going to be trying a lot of different things, and I want to see what's working and what's working in a couple ways, like what's motivating me, what viewers want to watch, what's helping me grow the stream. And then probably the second year, focus more on monetization. One of the things about March I think I'm going to write down is the organization course. I want to make this for years. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. So I'm going to be taking off 2 days. I've been doing quite a lot. Again, if you just kind of look back at the journal here, I can't even believe the code jam was last week. Feels like forever ago now. And for anyone who didn't catch that, check out this video on YouTube. But yeah, feel like we've got a pretty good foundation set up. All right, let me go find someone to raid on Twitch. Watching on YouTube, but you have Twitch chat open. Yeah. Rename your VODs after the fact to be more descriptive. I don't know how I feel about VODs exactly. I gotta look into this some more. I just like having an archive somewhere, but not having them just be totally visible all the time. Usually an unlisted playlist is pretty good, or a public playlist of unlisted videos. You know, I do not want to spend the time trying to find someone to raid who's new. So let's find someone who is not new to raid. And let's go with, oh no, they've been streaming for way too long. Try not to raid people who've been online for like 10 hours. Okay, let's host Z Weasel. I don't think I've hosted them in years. Yeah. So let's go show them some love. I am a little tired. I'm gonna link in Discord here as well for anyone who hasn't joined. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for the support today. I will be back on Wednesday, and on Tuesday, I plan on making a YouTube video. So there should still be the normal weekly content that I do. But yeah, take care, everyone. Bye. Have a good weekend. See ya.